Hey Shocker Nation, welcome back for another edition of the Think and Friend Show. I'm Mr. Finkbeiner, and today's show is a little bit different. Our senior class, prepared a Constitution presentation for other students here in the junior high and the high school. Constitution Day, as you may or may not know, is September 17th. And that was on a Sunday this year. But our seniors presented to junior high and high school students here at Waterville on Thursday, September 14th. And so this episode is an example of one of those Constitution presentations. This particular group is made up of Marshall Myers, Enrique Gonzalez, and Emily Rojas. And so please take a moment to watch Marshall, Enrique, and Emily as they presented to the 8th grade students here at Waterville School on September 14th about the United States Constitution.
Random facts. During World War II, the U.S. Constitution was moved to Fort Knox for safekeeping after the bombing of Pearl Harbor. The U.S. Constitution is considered the shortest governing document of any nation. Over 11,000 amendments have been introduced to Congress, 33 have gone to states, and only 27 have been approved. The iconic "We the People of the United States" originally listed each individual state. The Constitution has only changed 17 times since 1791. Background. The Constitution of the USA was not the original plan of government. The original plan that the United States followed after the Revolutionary War was known as the Articles of Confederation. It was believed to give the country 2 weeks of a central government. James Madison is often referred to as the father of the Constitution because of his involvement in the drafting of the documents. The founders of the Constitution were delegates that states sent to represent their own welfare. One goal of the Constitution was to unify the states to create a more perfect union. The Constitution includes a preamble and the 7 articles to format the United States government. The Constitution embodies many ideas and principles originated from the Enlightenment period. Purpose: creates the government system for the new United States that would be meant to last. Unify states to create a strong state and federal government. Law required federally funded schools to teach about the Constitution on September 17th. Final draft of the Constitution on September 17, 1877 was signed by 39 delegates, 55 total were there. The Constitution is the supreme law of land, nothing above or against. The Supreme Court rules based on the Constitution. By January 1st, 2005, wages went up Illinois, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington state.
This is the structure of the U.S. Constitution. The U.S. Constitution is structured into 7 articles, with the first 3 giving powers to the 3 different branches of government. All of these branches have been structured to be able to check the power of the other branches, and this term is called checks and balances. There have been 27 total amendments since 1787, and the first 10 amendments are known as Bill of Rights. Principles reflected in the Constitution included limited government, federalism, and separation of powers. The Senate has 100 members, with each state having 2 senators, while there are 435 members in the House of Representatives, which is based on population. The Supreme Court is the highest court in the land and consists of 9 justices. The checks and balances. Americans were creating a government based on their negative experiences with the King of England. Checks and balances is a term to represent the way that different parts of the government can check the power of each other, used so that one branch of government doesn't become too powerful. Two examples are the Supreme Court can declare laws or actions taken by the president or legislature as unconstitutional. The president can veto a bill passed by Congress, but Congress can override that veto with the 67% majority vote. That is called a supermajority.
So these branches were made to ensure that the separation of powers and make sure the government is effective and citizens' rights are protected. One reason that this is because they were kind of trying to avoid the government that Great Britain ran because they felt that they didn't have their rights, and this is just after the Revolutionary War, and they didn't want that to happen again. So the legislative branch creates laws, and the legislature is composed of senators and the House of Representatives, which are able to make laws that declare war, control interstate trade, and trade with other countries, while also controlling taxes and spending policies. The executive branch enforces laws, and it consists of the president, his or her advisors, and various departments and agencies. This branch is responsible for enforcing laws passed by the legislative branch, and the judicial branch interprets laws. And like the Supreme Court, anybody can challenge a law, and the Supreme Court can declare that law unconstitutional. The Bill of Rights. So there were originally 12 amendments proposed in the Bill of Rights, but only 10 were ratified. James Madison wrote the Bill of Rights. North Carolina's actual copy of the Bill of Rights was missing for nearly 140 years, but it was eventually found in 2003. The First Amendment guarantees freedom of religion, speech, assembly, petition, and press. Now, I wrote it in the way that it was listed in the amendments. So I think it's really interesting that the freedom of religion comes before freedom of speech. It just kind of shows what the Founding Fathers' values were. The Second Amendment grants the right to bear arms, which pretty much just means own firearms. The Fourth Amendment's purpose is to protect the privacy of people from unreasonable search and seizure by government. So that means that to come into my house, the government either needs permission or a warrant. And the Seventh Amendment grants the right to a trial by jury of peers in civil cases. Some influential amendments are the First Amendment, very important, ensuring some of our key American freedoms. The 26th Amendment gave the right to citizens who are 18 years of age or older to vote. Before that, it was 21 years of age. The 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments are all amendments that were passed in the Reconstruction period, giving citizens their civil rights. So the Reconstruction period was right after the Civil War, and some states weren't back in the United States government yet. So it was a little easier for some of these laws to get passed, like the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery. And then the 19th Amendment is another very important one. Gave women the right to vote, kind of granting women's suffrage. The 14th Amendment grants citizenship to all people born in the United States. So I could be, like, my parents could have been born somewhere else, but if I was born here, I would still be a citizen. Any questions? All right, thank you guys.